also going through stuff right now. Same thing with your teachers, same thing I'm sure with all of you guys. There's a really hard time, and it's not always easy. It sucks a lot of the time. And I just wanted to say really quickly that, we're all learning to be the best versions of ourselves, being academically honest, especially during a time right now where it seems so easy to take the easy way out. And I just want to tell you guys that shortcuts are not always the answer, and sometimes the shortcuts lead to bad consequences. So I just wanted to say right now that, we should all be working to do our best in school. Reach out to your teachers if you're having any trouble with stuff, because, they're struggling too. They're really stressed out all the time as well. So they're going to be more than understanding, if you need more time for anything, if you need any advice from them, because, we're all here trying to support each other. So with that, I'm just going to leave it there. Kevin, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, I just wanted to add that, teachers, they want to help us so badly. And, I know that I need to be better about that too. I think everybody could be better about that. But honestly, even if it is like, you contemplating the ridiculous question of like, can I please postpone this test for a week? Or can I just please have an extra day or two for this assignment? Like, I need to get my sleep. I need to get time away from the screen or something like that. Your teachers understand. As a matter of fact, I think it would benefit everybody. It would give the teacher some time to, take some time off the screen as well. But, we're almost into the fourth quarter. We're kind of just rounding that base. And Kate and I just wanted to take time to remind everybody that, we're all in this together. It's not just students, it's faculty and staff, it's parents too, just managing this life online. But, I think communication it's hard online, but it's truly necessary. And, I think we can all be better, especially me. I could be better. I'm still learning how to do it. And we all are. And yeah, just thank you guys for taking time to listen to us. And yeah, I hope those words resonate with you guys, just one way or another. But yeah, thank you, teachers and staff, for having patience with all of us as well. And I hope we can make your lives easier throughout this, especially this last quarter, and communicating with you guys, and just making this last quarter of York experience one to remember, and one that's positive. And yeah. But
I have one more thing I just wanted to
add.
I just wanted to say, like, beyond what we're saying here, I want you guys to know that we're here for you guys, to support you, and to take action if you guys have something that's really pressing, that you feel like, things aren't working for you, you think there should be a change. So, feel free to reach out to Kevin or I, or anyone in student council, if you ever have something specific that, you want us to address, because, we're more than willing. We're happy to, push things forward and try to make some changes too. So.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, I totally agree with that. We, if there's something that, that's kind of bugging on your mind, and it's not a, teacher to student type thing, it's more of a, overheading thing that you see with the school, then, please don't hesitate to come to us. That's our job. This is the position you elected us for, to communicate your ideas to the school, to Miss Sherry and Mr. Key in our meetings. It's what we want to do. It's what we want to represent. We want to represent you guys. We're meeting with Mr. Key and Miss Sherry to, just make your lives easier, make everybody's lives easier, including the faculty and staff. So if you do find yourself in a situation where you're like, I just can't communicate this because it's either, embarrassing, it's too upfront, that's our job. Leave that to us. We'll take care of it. But, in the meantime, just make sure with academic things and just sleep and all those different things, please reach out to your teachers. And I'm going to be doing a better job of that too. I don't want to stand up here and be like, I'm the pillar of something, but, I think we all do. And, I know for myself, I need to, but yeah, please come to us. We won't bite. We love you guys. But yeah, thank you, Kate. And thank you guys for, taking what we said to heart. hopefully resonated. But yeah, going on with break, Mr. Raymond, do you want to give your announcement? Thank you for your patience, all your announcements. Thank you, guys.
Aloha and good morning. Thank you, Kevin and Kate. I just have to take a moment. Everyone's been saying something in the chat, but wow, those are amazing and much needed words. We're all just sort of speaking honestly right now. My third decade as an educator, I've never had a harder year, never been more challenging to do the job the way you want to do it. And I've never been more inspired by the strength of York's community. We just saw it on display right now. So very hopeful for a successful year and successful, strong finish to the year. Thank you so much for those inspiring words. It's great to come to break and be inspired. So I had an announcement about how friendly and welcoming York School is, and we want to make sure that that's the case for applicant students that are excited to be hearing from us in March as to our decisions for next year. My first day on campus as an applicant teacher was very warm and friendly. A student actually approached me in the parking lot as I was walking to the main office and asked me if I needed help finding my way, and students were greeting me on the way into break, and people were very friendly at the back of the chapel as I stood there for my first break and was inspired that day. And so you can imagine it's going to be challenging for us to sort of deliver that same kind of warmth and friendliness virtually and digitally, but we've found some interesting ways to do that. And I just wanted to let Shield students and other students that we may need to call on know that we will be reaching out to you to help us shoot some videos, some acceptance videos this week. And we will be asking you during cohorts next week to help write some note cards and to make some calls during March. All efforts on our part to communicate to applicant students that have been accepted that we like them and we're excited and we want them to choose York and we want them to understand who we are. So if you are asked, we hope that you say yes. If you're asked and you need balance in your life, it's okay to say no. But we will be reaching out to you and we appreciate your assistance for those efforts. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Mr. Raymond. We have Miss Williston now talking about science fair.
Hello, just one more quick announcement about science fair. It's going to happen this Wednesday starting at 10 o'clock. We're all going to meet in this break room to begin with, and Miss Durkee is going to give us an introduction to science fair, and then you are all invited to go to one of the science teachers' classrooms. All this math, science, and even Miss Torg is one of our math science teachers. We are going to have 6 or 7 or 8 projects in our individual rooms. We'll have a list of all the titles of the projects, so you can check out the titles, see which science fair projects you're interested, and then it's just a drop-in. You can ask the students questions about their projects. Many of you have had to do a science fair project before, and I know you really appreciated when we had it in the gym and people could come and ask you questions. So it would be really nice if you could all drop in on a couple of the math science teacher classrooms and ask questions about their projects. Again, this is happening Wednesday at 10 o'clock. We'll meet here first and then go out to the science teachers' rooms. If you have questions, ask me, Miss Keast, or Miss Durkee. But there was a link in Friday's Falcon to the spreadsheet that has all the names and titles.
All right, thank you. I believe we have one more announcement. That is Miss Sherry.
Thank you. I had one announcement as we came in, and now I have 2 things to say and one announcement. One is that you remember that Kate and Kevin just talked about the fact that everybody's under strain and stress, and we know that those people presenting or getting ready to present their science fair projects and putting the finishing touches on it are definitely feeling stressed out. It's a huge project. As you know, they've been working on it all year. And the thing to keep in mind is that their teachers are also feeling a lot of stress. They're doing lots of last minute assistance in, hey, try to revise this, or what about putting your results in this way, and last minute tying up of things, because this is very much like a public performance for everybody, in that it's, you know, here's what our department has been encouraging students to work on all this year. So when we say we're all in it together, we really mean it. And I think that, you know, I was talking about the ducks earlier today, and this, you know, it's always my image that we're gliding along the surface like everything is fine, and meanwhile we're paddling as fast as we can. And just to remember that your teachers are doing that too, but they're always doing it with you as a priority. So you should never, ever, ever feel like, oh, I can't ask the teacher for this because they're too busy doing something else. I sit in meetings where nobody is there to, you know, say, I have to say this so that the kids think this. No, they care. I hear it over and over for the last 2 decades plus, how much they care and want to help and want to be there for you. So please don't ever forget that. But I also have to say, and I'm going to try not to get choked up, Kevin and Kate, you guys always blow me away. So thank you. Very wise. Very good stuff. Okay, the real reason that I was coming in here was to say, as an extra added incentive to you going to each of these science teachers' rooms and taking a look at the projects that are there, we're going to be talking about science, discussing various things like, why do we learn science? And what was your most favorite science experiment that you saw during the forum before we met for PATH? So that's what PATH is going to be all about. It's going to be about science and what you saw at the forum in the different rooms that you went to. So make some time to go and check out what mostly the youngest among us are doing, and all the exciting work that they've been engaged in over the last, since the beginning of the school year, just about. So we'll see you then on Wednesday at the forum and then into PATH. We'll take a little break between so you have time for all the important things like bio breaks and snacks and taking care of yourself. Thank you so much.
No, thank you, Miss Sherry, for all of your announcements. I think it's time for Nico to give us his speech. I've been waiting for it. I think we've all seen him pace around. So Nico, it's your time to shine.
Yay, Nico! Yeah,
Nico! Yeah, Nico.
The year is 2016, and my mom and I are trying to make the best of a nearly canceled Philippines trip. I woke up bright and early to the sounds of a rooster and vendor yelling, which promptly made me get on my bed, put on my slippers, which I basically worn almost everywhere at the time, and take step out into this beautiful, cluttered, narrow mess of a neighborhood. This neighborhood belonged to one of the biggest cities in the world, home to 1.78 million people, a city where my parents found their original success, making it feel almost surreal to stand there. Welcome to Manila, Philippines, where everything is thought to be more fun in the heart of the Pinoy. Despite it only being 10 a.m., people are out drinking and singing karaoke like there's no tomorrow. Motorcycles pass and enter my vision from a mere 12 inches away. As can be seen from my surroundings, the Philippines produces bright, loud, happy, and as seen from yours truly, sometimes obnoxious people. Though I think that might just be me, I'm not sure. What I'm trying to say is that the Philippines is known for its people, and you'll know a Filipino when you see one. That day was a day just as busy as the city. My mom told me to get into the car, so I got in, got dressed, no questions asked. I stared out the window and I noticed kids playing basketball in the middle of the highway, and along the highway were scrap metal and industrial buildings, making the overall scenery look very out of place. Traffic was always bad here, and anywhere your car could physically go was probably a place you're allowed to drive in. Seatbelts aren't even built into cars, and people board buses that hold animals and people alike. Just like the cars that quickly passed by, so does the day as it quickly turns to night. I then find myself standing outside one of the biggest malls in the world waiting for a taxi. My mom then spots a kid that pretty much looks identical to me, who's going around asking for change. He had, at the time, the same brownish skin, same fat, wide, punchable nose, and same lips that crumbs easily get caught on. But my mom spots one key difference between me and this kid. He was barefoot and I wasn't. I had shoes and he didn't. So my mom then tells me, Nico, look at that kid. He's barefoot. We just bought you new shoes, so you should go ahead and give your old ones to him. My mom, being a mother to a whiny first-generation Filipino American, is always willing to give something up for the greater good. So she couldn't help but notice this kid. After all, she had lived similarly to this kid before. Growing up, my parents always lectured me about how hard their life was in the Philippines. Whenever money would go low, they'd brush their teeth with salt. My grandma survived cancer in a rural province. My dad started working at my parents' corner store at the mere age of 7. And my mom didn't even live with my grandparents until my great-grandparents were more financially stable. That's when I realized my mom sees me in this kid. If my parents didn't put in the blood, sweat, and tears to go here and start a life here in America, it is entirely possible that I could have been living the life that they were all those years ago. But I didn't know anything about this kid, and I probably never will. From what I can tell, this kid is on the streets, trying his hardest to earn money for his family in any way he can, while I'm here giving a speech to my private school peers. And because of this difference between us, it is very probable that my perspective of the Philippines was entirely different from his. Beautiful beaches, fantastic food, tropical islands, while he's probably worrying about getting the simplest food on his plate. Yet, he still asks for change with a smile on his face, a smile I'll never understand. The Philippines has been in a never-ending cycle of dictatorship, which to some people may ruin the quality of the country, but to me, it's what the people make out of it is what counts. I think back to the kids making makeshift water slides out of waterfalls, the kids playing basketball in the middle of the highway, and the grown men singing their hearts out in 10 in the morning. Then I hand my shoes over to him. He quickly smiles, says thank you, puts them on, and takes his leave. Those are the shoes that I'd pretty much worn for the last 3 years of my life at the time, and I wonder what they've seen now.
Yay, Nico!
Nico!
Woo!
That was amazing. I love that speech so much, especially considering that I feel like a personal connection to it with my family also coming from Manila in the Philippines. And what you spoke of in terms of like the incredible resilience of Filipino people and, you know, care for others and, you know, fighting through tough times and just finding the positives and things. I feel like I totally can feel that in my own family, like coming from a background of struggle and, you know, finding ways to connect and, you know, still find the good in things. I don't know, I really loved your speech and I just connected with it so much. So I was really grateful that you chose to share about that. Thank you for your speech. And yeah, that was it for me.
Yeah, first off, Nico, congratulations. You're done with your sophomore speech. I know it probably feels really good right now, but I have to tell you how powerful your ending was. I don't know. It was just something about it that kind of leaves it up to us to kind of interpret, you know, what that specific person might be doing right now with something that you gave and you changed his life. And, you know, however that might be, on what magnitude, on what level is, you know, honestly up to you and up to, you know, the listeners to kind of piece together. But no matter what I took away from that was you changed somebody's life. And, you know, you were just doing good for the people around you. And, you know, that's powerful. And the way you phrased it at the very end, just, you know, it gave me a second to think, you know, wow, you know, you really did have an effect, but just how much. And, you know, that's for you to interpret and that's for everybody else to interpret. But thank you, Nico. Congratulations, you're done. We're going to be on to the next one next time we have break. I just want to say thank you again for every single person here for taking the time to listen to Kate and I and Miss Sherry just kind of talking about going into the last quarter, staying resilient, and just coming together even more than we have before, through distance learning. Communication is hard through a computer, but, it's honestly harder to go the other paths if you think about it. So, just make an effort and reach out if you can. And if not, if you don't want to reach out to a teacher, reach out to us, because, we want to do things. There's so many things that Kate and I wanted to do this year as president and vice president. Just please hit us up, and we will we'll try and do our best to help you out and get through the rest of this year. And that means you too, faculty. We are here to help you too. We love you guys. Thank you. And yeah, take care. Have a great break.